You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, your host today. I'm going to go to calls in just a moment. There was one more article I wanted to go over, and that is it's up on Infowars.com from Kurt Nimmo. A new poll shows most Americans support Second Amendment and gun ownership. That's right, 52%, the highest it's been in decades. And this is not from a conservative research center. This is from the Pew Research Center. I think people are getting to understand this because they understand that the government is not there to protect them. And they also know, with our open borders, what can happen. Anybody that's been paying attention, and Jakari had a great report on this the other night. It was last night, I believe. He had the interview with the reporter from Mexico. And, of course, there's been tens of thousands of people killed in Mexico with the war on drugs there. A lot of corruption from the government, a lot of murdering on both sides. And the only place where people are safe are where the citizens have armed themselves to protect themselves against both the drug cartels and the corrupt government there. One thing that illustrated that, of course, is the 49 college students who were killed after they heckled a politician's wife's speech. They essentially used the drug cartels to go after these 49 kids, murdered them, and buried them. That's happening all the time in Mexico. And we've opened up our borders so the drug cartels can come right into our country. So get a gun, learn how to use it. That's what some of the honest sheriffs have been telling people about. Now, earlier in the show, we were talking about the torture report that came out from Dianne Feinstein. I wanted to get your comments on that. Let's go to Stephen in Florida. Stephen, go ahead.
Good afternoon, David. I want to address this issue from two different angles. First of all, it's been brought out how the NSA is spying on us. We're being tracked and monitored by all this government control grid. And I know in particular from listening to Alex that they are really monitoring you folks at InfoWars.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to put a word out to these people that want to advocate and promote this New World Order system that thinks it's okay to brutally torture and murder people. There's a day coming. You may get away with it in the human realm, but there's a day coming when you're going to stand before your Creator, Jesus Christ, to give an account for this. It's all being recorded. You're under surveillance. And
Yes.
It's going to come up at the Great White Throne, and then you're going to be cast into the lake of fire where you will be tormented. And that word means tortured forever and ever and ever. And you can take that to the bank with all your bankster mob bosses. The other thing I want to say is this. I am totally disgusted as a Bible-believing Christian how the majority of professing Christians in America are living in a fantasy world because of this pre-trib rapture theory. And that's exactly what it is. It's unbiblical, and they do not want to believe that we here in America are somehow going to go through what everybody else in history as a believer in Jesus Christ has had to go through, and that is persecution. This is what we're facing. And like you guys have pointed out, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. People say, well, we're living in the last days, and the Lord said this was going to happen, and there's nothing we can do about it. So, Lord, come and take us out of here before this all gets really bad. You people better wake up, because you are going to face the reality when people like what Joe Biggs used to do are going to come busting in your door in the middle of the night, like the secret police did in Germany and in Russia, and drag your sorry hide off to one of the FEMA camps, and you will not escape that. So you better wake up and get with the program now before you get a real rude awakening, my friends.
And it's not just the eschatology, Stephen. It's also the idea, if you're a Christian, where is your compassion for other people? Why don't you want to stop this from happening to other people? Doesn't it rip your heart out to see something like happen to Eric Garner? I mean, I can't understand how Christians can sit aside and not do anything. We'll be right back with your calls.
As the year is coming to a close, we all pause to reflect on what's happened in the past year. We take a step back and thank God for what we have. I'm David Hall, founder of Diamond Gusset Jeans. At Diamond Gusset, we are celebrating the brush fires of liberty that are spreading across this great nation. Another thing we are celebrating is you. Without the valued listeners of Alex Jones and our loyal customers, we wouldn't be here today. We offer a wonderful online shopping experience. If you receive a pair that doesn't fit, send them back and we'll exchange them at no cost to you. Beat the shopping rush by visiting us at gusset.com and join our email newsletter to receive some great holiday discounts. And paying no attention to political correctness, Diamond Gusset wants to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Thanks for believing in our dream, the original 100% American-made Diamond Gusset jean.
2015 is almost here, and with it comes those New Year's resolutions to finally transform your body the way you want it. There's a reason over 88% of New Year's resolutions fail. Make this year different by equipping yourself with Oxy Powder, the next level in cleansing the body naturally. Using super oxygenation, Oxy Powder, available through InfoWarsLife.com, gently cleanses the body while you sleep with easy capsules. InfoWars Nightly News Director Rob Dew has been using Oxy Powder with incredible success.
Took it that first day, and then I took it for 6 more days after that. 12 pounds melted off in about a week. I'd say a week, 7 days. And I've been able to keep it off, too. My wife was like, wow, you look really good. And I'm like, I know. I guess it's this Oxy Powder.
2015 can be different. Diet and exercise are important, but a lot of us have already tried that. Oxy Powder flushes it out. Secure your Oxy Powder at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. Sold out for weeks due to the difficult and extensive proprietary process behind its creation, the exclusive InfoWars Life Secret 12 formulation is now back in stock in the last limited shipment of 2014. The most bioactive form that has been created with our proprietary process. This ultra-clean vitamin B12 nutraceutical has been carefully crafted and developed over the last 2 years and is based on cellular science of how your body actively absorbs essential nutrients. Secret 12 is taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Vitamin B12 deficiency is linked to scores of serious problems. And Secret 12 is a fusion of 2 organic proprietary forms of vitamin B12, bringing you a true nutraceutical quality vitamin B12. Secret 12 is an excellent Christmas gift. Secure your Secret 12 formula before December 17th at InfoWarsLife.com and receive it before Christmas guaranteed. That's InfoWarsLife.com before December 17th or by calling 888-253-3139.
There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak.
Just let me think.
I suspect even now, orders are being shouted into telephones, and men with guns will soon be on their way.
It's Chancellor Sutler.
Damn it.
Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country, isn't there?
You designed it, sir. You wanted it foolproof. You told me every television in London.
Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others. They will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler. He promised you order, he promised you peace, and all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent.
There is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the InfoWar.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, your host today. I'm going to be taking some calls. The number to call is 800-259-9231. I want to get your responses to the torture report. We just talked to Stephen from Florida. He was talking to the Christians, and I think that's right because that's where the revival of the country is going to come from. It's going to come from a revival of the church. We need to regain our moral compass. It has to come from Christians. If you can watch the stuff that's being done in our name to people on the streets by the police, if you can watch people being tortured, if you can read these reports as to what's being done, and your response is, we're just awesome. I can't understand that. I cannot understand that response, especially if you're a Christian. Martin Luther said, if I knew the world was going to end tomorrow, I would still plant a tree today. Would you help your fellow man today? If you knew the world was going to end tomorrow and you're going to be, because you think that your eschatology is going to lift you out of all the troubles and you're going to go straight to heaven, do you think that you should do something today to help your fellow man, even if you're not going to have to suffer through it yourself? Do you have any compassion for your fellow man's suffering? When you see homeless men shot to death on the street like a firing squad, when you see people beaten to death, homeless people beaten to death, do you have any compassion over that? I don't understand it. I just don't understand the passiveness of the American public. I just don't get it. You know, there's a day coming. We're going to have our judgment at Nuremberg. And if you're an old man, if you're a Dick Cheney and you think you're going to escape that, you don't believe in God, you're going to stand before God, you're going to answer before God, and he's not going to be taking any of your lies, Dick Cheney. But there's a lot of people who think that they're not going to have to answer in this life. You know what? We're going to have our Nuremberg trials. And the people at top who say it was for the national security, that ain't going to wash. And the people at the bottom who say they were just following orders, that's not going to wash either. Let's go to Jacob in Ohio. Jacob? Jacob, you still there?
How you doing?
Go ahead. You want to talk about torture? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, they act like we just found out about it, but as Alex said yesterday, you guys have been reporting on it for over 13 years. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they've been talking about it. I mean, they were reporting, they were doing their legal covers for it. They were destroying evidence. Everybody knew about it. Everybody knew that the Bush administration was doing this. And they were telling everybody that it was working. They were telling people that we were getting good data. Now we're being told that we don't have good data. But the key is that in 20 different line items on this report, Feinstein says, well, the CIA did this. The CIA did that. Nobody, of course, but the CIA is guilty. She's doesn't have any responsibility, according to her. Nobody in the Bush administration has any responsibility. Nobody in the Obama administration who's been trying to keep this report secret. They've had this report for a long time. They've been playing with it for 6 years. They've run up tens of millions of dollars in salary for their staff to play with this report. The only reason this report came out is because the CIA made Dianne Feinstein and her staff angry because they spied on her. See, she's not supposed to be spied on. She doesn't care if they spy on us. They just passed a law, as Justin Amash talked about, and we had talked about earlier in the show, where they're going to, under cover of law, say that they can get everybody's information, not go before a judge, not get us a subpoena. They've been doing that. They're just trying to go back and put in some legal cover because they do know that there is a risk of a Nuremberg trial for these guys. So they're trying to go back and put this cover in there. It isn't going to wash because the Constitution says you need to go before a judge and be specific about what you're looking for, be specific about where you're going to look for it. You have to have a reason to get our data. No laws that they push are going to pass constitutional muster. Go ahead, Jacob. What do you want to say? This has been going on for a long time, as you pointed out.
Yeah, I've personally known about it and heard Alex talk about it. I've been listening to his show for about 10 years now, and he's definitely known. InfoWars has been reporting on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's nothing at all new. It's nothing at all new. They're just trying to give themselves some cover for this. Thank you so much, Jacob. Let's go to Skip in Nebraska. Skip, you want to talk about the NDAA, and, of course, that was just re-upped again last week. So, or actually, it was they brought the bill the same day that they came out with this torture report. Go ahead, Skip.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Coincidences just don't happen. I've been listening to Alex for a long time, and God bless you and him and all the staff for what you do.